Although the aggregate demand, aggregate supply model says that the economy will self-correct in the long run, the government still intervenes. Why is this the case? Because there are limits to fiscal policy. One of the primary ideas for expansionary policy is that when government spending increases, it trickles down and increases consumption through a money multiplier. The only problem is that our formulas for these multipliers are only educated guesses, which means that we don't know exactly to what extent the economy is impacted. Additionally, it is hard to predict unexpected events that may impact the aggregate demand and aggregate supply curves across the world, like natural disasters or epidemics. Another limit to fiscal policy is a time lag, of which there are three kinds. First is the information lag, which means that it is hard to collect data and find trends fast enough to keep up with the economy and not mistime fiscal policy. Secondly, a formulation lag says that legislation is slow, and oftentimes policy cannot be passed in time to impact the economy in the way it was intended. It can even have adverse effects if the economy is already self-corrected. Finally, implementation lags are the time it takes for policy to change the economy once it is implemented. As an example of fiscal policy being used, let's look at the fiscal policies from 2009 to 2020. In the housing crisis of 2008, the Fed had kept interest rates too low for too long, which led to overinvestment on the part of consumers. This essentially means that the aggregate demand curve had been pushed too far right, and the market crashed. Because of this, the government was forced to implement contractionary policy to resolve the issue. Thank you so much for your time.